Hello and welcome. I'm Jethro Rothe-Kushel, founder and CEO of Ritual Ads, and I'm here today with Liz Bacelar, who is redefining AI in a number of ways. I'm super excited about this conversation. But before we get started, I just wanted to engage you in just a couple of rapid fire questions.
Sure, let's do it.
So you have an incredible background. I'd love to hear more about that in just a moment.
Very unusual.
But when you are, would you refer to yourself as an Emmy-winning journalist or an AI leader?
I am someone, I'm a decoder.
Decoder.
I'm someone who decodes complex stories or complex concepts and enables people with that knowledge to then take action. And I've done that throughout my entire career, whether I was in media, breaking down a very complex story. I remember when my executive producer gave me the financial meltdown and I'm like, ooh, I don't know about finance. It's like, well, figure it out. And you have like an hour. That training of breaking news allows you to not shy away to dive deep into complex, right? So right now, there's a lot of people when they're looking at AI, they're like, ooh, I don't know if I want to learn something new. When you work in journalism, breaking news, you don't have an option. You have to keep jumping in the new and master the new, the most important part of the new, take that knowledge, that insight that you just got, turn into action, and then pass it through. I love the motions of that.
I love that.
And communicate that in a way that you understood.
Yeah.
Right?
So as an AI decoder, this is a second rapid fire question. What would you say is the biggest buzzword right now in AI that's being ubiquitously misused?
Misused. I think LLMs. Because of the con crowd. I think it's LLMs because I hear people so worried about the actual LLMs and not understanding there's a world under it and above it. And it's very important to take a step back. If you're not an engineer deciding what kind of tool you need to plug in into an AI product that you're creating, if you are the user, it's less about what the LLMs are unlocking and more about you understanding what they all represent. What's the breadth of this, all of this represents. I hear people saying that am I building they ask me, are you building your own model? I'm like, that's not how this works.
Right.
You don't need it necessarily. Although in finance they are, because they need to keep the data very safe. Often in finance, banks are creating their own model. But with AI is really understanding what's the overall umbrella of all of this. What does it mean? And this generative AI, that's the thing that really, really ticks me off. When people say AI and they mean generative AI.
Right.
I think it's very important to understand the distinction because there is this graph that I love that shows like the layers of this cake.
That's great.
And we just on the Gen AI layer, we have the deep learning layer that people are freaking out with Gen AI. They haven't even seen the other two layers. They're coming, right? You have neural networks. They're coming. They're going to give us 100% accuracy. So that's going to freak some people out. Because right now, some people feeling safe because Gen AI, it's not accurate by design.
Right.
It's a feature
to
be a guessing algorithm. And then you have deep learning that's when I'm going to freak out.
Yeah.
Then deep learning is ubiquitous.
So generative AI, walk us through them again. There's three of them, right? You got generative AI.
There's more than three.
Yeah.
But we have the machine learning, right? It's the chat bots that we use to. There's a limited amount of answers. For you to stand them up, you pretty much create a knowledge base with all the possible answers. And all the answers they're going to give you are the answers that were given to it, right? So there's a limit to that. It doesn't create anything new. That's machine learning, right? Then the next level above is a deep learning, which has been going on for a long time, but it's not ready for prime time yet. It's being able to think on its own. Imagine a Gen AI, but very, very deep thinking, right? We are seeing the signs of that right now, but it's the kind of technology that can cure cancer on its own, right? Really thinking through complex problems and generating a solution. So that's predicted to hit the market at scale in about 5 years, maybe sooner. Let's see. But 5 years is when everybody and their mom will know what that is. Generative AI is what we have available to us. Is this technologies that are created to based on the information that you gave it to it, to give it back the answers, but also come up with answers on its own. And each one of the LLMs were created in a different way, right? And OpenAI, everybody knows, was created with a lot of old data, and now they're trying to make it a little more fresh. It's not the best place to go to get fresh information. Gemini is more based on fresh information, right? And Perplexity. So each one of them, they have a specific superpower. And you shouldn't be planning your vacation with OpenAI, for instance.
I love it.
And you're gonna go to a lot of hotels that are closed already.
That's right.
And the last one that I would say is neural networks. They combining that with Gen AI, because if you were to ask, you hear a lot about no one says that they have 100% accuracy, right, in Gen AI, but you could, if you combine with neural networks, you could. So when you think about finance, imagine that you're there working in your Excel spreadsheet, right? A lot of us use Excel spreadsheets for a variety of reasons. And then you do your calculations, your summaries, your reports. What if your Excel spreadsheet is perfect, is accurate, 98% of the time? Is that useful for you?
That's a problem. No,
it's a problem.
You need a
because the 2%, exactly, the 2% that it's wrong, that's inaccurate, it won't let you know. You have to keep guessing. So that 100% accuracy keeps Gen AI from being a great tool for finance, for governments,
right?
And that's changing very quickly.
And as a decoder, would you say Gen AI is a good tool for a creative work?
That is the essence of why it was created. It was created as a creative tool.
Yeah.
It was a creative as a thinking partner, as a partner to expedite that first step of you putting ideas down, to fill that blank page that blocks you. Part of my whole life, part of my job is to be a writer, right? And then you look at that blank page and you're like, and you're having that inner conversation with what you want to put down as your thoughts. So now I have a thinking partner, and the thinking partner is not write this down for me. That you're missing so much if you jump into that lazy step. Thinking partner is, my purpose is to state this, or I'm trying to create this because of that. And the goal of me doing this is that. Can you create a framework for me to think around this, right? So it's a thinking partner. And then you write down what you want to write down, and then you can say, can you help me optimize this? Can I make it even better? So it's not doing the work for you. Gen AI will replace us if we want to, if we're that lazy. And it's going to be sad because the work will never be good enough. But to what I see more often, what I see that excites me about this work is this feeling of being acquiring superpowers, right? Something that would take longer to be done faster, so I can do much, much more with my time. And people that had certain weaknesses, having those weaknesses addressed and feeling super powerful. Like a lot of writers are not good editors. A lot of editors are not good writers, right? So to have that partner and fill the gaps with you is so fantastic.
So Liz, you've had an extraordinary career. Your superpower, as we're claiming it, is as a decoder, and you're a writer at your core. If you were to write the next chapter in AI based on everything that you've seen over the last decade, what would the next chapter look and feel like? And what are you most excited about? And what are you most scared of?
I'm very excited about how AI is empowering to people. I'm seeing in many teams, in many people that I talk to here, Khan, and in my own team, the shift from fear to enablement, right? And teams to understand that this is not and should not be a tech-led conversation. This should be the tech teams, the tech players in the space, in an organization, should be the decoders of what's happening, should constantly fetch more possibilities and put them on the table. And then have these conversations, listening sessions about what are the pain points, what are the objectives, and then display tools to the team and say, hey, how about this? And then them building that together. Before this AI revolution, we had with innovation, with tech innovation, which is what we did, I would get a technology, bring to the organization and say, this is the new way that we're going to do things now. That does not work in the age of AI, because you're disrupting how people work and how they think. You want to do it together. You want to really create a buy-in as the first step before you even bring up the tools to the conversation. Most of the time, that's what you should do. So that's exciting. The part that's scary to me is when I see leaders not understanding that this is really about digital transformation, when I see leaders really excited about a specific tech company or a specific solution, whether it's a big enterprise partner or something new, but mostly it's coming from big, large enterprise partners trying to create their AI version of themselves, right? So they can stand the test of time, and not really investing in the people side of things and understanding that this is people-led. This is really about empowering the team that works in the company to run with this and acquire the knowledge to make these decisions of what is actually needed for them for the future.
So for brands that are leading in innovation, what's one word or one word of inspiration that is important to you that can help inspire brand leaders throughout the community?
First is purpose. A lot of we talk about brands being authentic and consumers liking authenticity. This is the reckoning of authenticity and purpose right now. Everything that you are using, especially if it's consumer facing, you have to answer the question on why and have a really good answer on why do you do it this way? Why are you using AI on it? Because you might realize that sometimes you actually shouldn't. There have been some of the AI conversations that we had with my teams in which we decided actually this shouldn't be AI at all. And I'm the head of AI. I'm like, yeah. So head of AI does not mean leading AI does not mean shoving AI in every aspect of your organization. Leading AI means leading the AI conversation of how can you do this thoughtfully with purpose, right? And the second word is disruption. I know this. I love using this word at this moment because it's such a used word. It's an old word, but this is it. This time we've seen disruption before, but this is the biggest, the closest to the disruptive sun we have ever flown to. Everything is going to change. Everything is going to change and it's changing. And for us to be able to be leaders in this changing world right now, it means your skill set needs to change yourself. And when I say you, I mean you, whoever you are. If you are in the beginning of a career journey, and if you are at a board seat towards winding down that corporate life and just sharing knowledge, you need to tap into that. If you want to be part of the conversation today with purpose, you need to embrace that this disruption is happening at all levels and need to make time to understand it and have an opinion on that. And often what I see at leaders is them saying they don't have the time to acquire the knowledge. They just will hire the team with the knowledge. Then what happens is a gap. You have the leaders on the top that have hire you, who you serve, that don't understand the things you are saying. And then you have lack of alignment. And that lack of alignment happens, you don't achieve progress.
Well, Liz, thank you for being here today. You're definitely one of the leaders in this movement. And thank you all for joining us. We're here at Cannes Lions Brand Innovators Summit.
A hot one, very hot one.
Very hot one. And Liz still made it out and was able to share some really insightful moments with us. So thanks for tuning in and excited to see you on the next one.